We're under the lights here in Yas Island. It's Sebastian Ocampo on pole from Akari and Arnett Babness. Then it is Leo, Revo, and Jacko Tigranes. Daniel Baltasarov starts 7th from Theodore Schumacher and Yuki Hiwo. Marcus Nelson is 10th. Then it's David Camino, Dav Sanchez, UK Ball, Lawless Chaklerk, Vashi Chantan, Carlos Kynes, Pastor Maldonado, iWorld, MF1 World, Bob, T Gabo, and Neil Rez. So, we're under the lights then. It's another time where we have the two championship contenders on the front row. All 5 lights go on for a duel in the desert. And we go green. And it's a pretty even start from the top 2. It looks like Babness trying to find a way to get through on the top 2, but it's not quite going to happen there. And so it is still Ocampo coming through the first few turns under threat from Akari because of the 2 different tyre compounds they've decided to use. Leo up into P3. He's going to try and send it around the outside on his own teammate. It's so close. A lot of collisions in an F1 world. Has hit the wall. 2 cars out of the race. And that is Marcus Nelson Kynes. It's still all out of the race coming through that turn. And it's a concertina effect, isn't it? That has caused those 4 cars to be involved in such a massive incident. 2 cars there, up on their sides. It's unbelievable. We're looking at the race leaders then. Tigrana is currently 4th. Bogdasarov has dropped to 7th though. 8th rather. We go back racing. And on board with Akari. Trying to close in on Ocampo. He needs every point possible on Ocampo. If it was to finish like this, he'd lose 8 points compared to the number 1 car, which would see him drop to 20 points off the back of Ocampo, which would be... The 12 points he currently has now is manageable. He could do that today. But the 20 points is unthinkable. We're on to the second lap of the E3 then. And where does Akari choose to pounce? Is it coming out of turn 1? Maybe 2. Coming through turn number 3 then. Through the little kinks of turn 4 and down into turn 5. He's going to get attack mode on this lap. Ocampo with the fastest first sector, but he's had to let Arnett Babness go through. Leo to 4th then. And that is Tigranes is in Revo fighting over 5th position. Revo up into 5th. And here comes Arnett Babness, sleeper agent in the number 14. Can he take the race lead in the 14 lap affair? Not quite yet. And he's going to have to deal with a different Philippine driver right behind him. That is Akari. Leo, however, from 4th place, look to try and take the lead. And if he could just make that lunge, those soft tires really going off a cliff. That's 56% tire wear for Leo. And he's not going to get priority down at Pinnacle Motorsport. The highest place driver will get priority, and that will be Akari. No one really trying to go 2x2 coming through that few turns. Bogdasarov definitely trying to get a little bit closer to the cars around him. I wonder if he's got something to say to those drivers, because they are not racing in simply. As fastest lap going to Leo. Some drivers coming into the pits now, and yes, Carlos Kynes, he's currently lost in the driver's standings. Weird to think that he used to be one of the biggest rivals for the World Drivers' Championship. He would never win it, no. It's just unthinkable. Babness, he's going to try and get past. He does get past Ocampo finally for the lead. Arnett Babness takes the lead. Under the lights, Tigranes, 5-second time penalty. Closing it now on Bogdasarov. His UK ball. That was a collision with Revo before Tigranes. And, oh, that's Ocampo. He's going to send it. Ocampo sends it down the inside. Coming through the hairpin. 2 medium tire runners just fight over the lead. And Ocampo does take the lead. Akari right behind these two. 33% tire wear. So he really shouldn't try and make a move. Oh, like Babness! And into the wall and out of the race. Has gone the hyperdrive driver. The Romanian number 14 out of the race. He's lost a tire, in fact, after that crash. Oh, dearie me. And Ocampo peels into the pits. Akari is in, Leo stays out, so he's gonna have to be very careful, very gentle to make sure that he doesn't get a puncture by the end of this lap. But 25% tire wear to start a race when the tires wear out so quickly, it would be unthinkable. We go back racing then, as we always do in this championship. Leo currently still leading the way with 10 laps to go, with Bogdassar in tow. Sanchez, the only hard tire runner, currently in third. His teammate out of the race. And Akari is 2 seconds off the back of Ocampo now. Ocampo, however, on the soft tires. For Akari right now, if he can't close in to Ocampo, all he can really do is wish as much misfortune to the number 1 car as much as possible. Leo, by the way, currently leading this race, but Bogdassar right behind him. That's got to be very worrying. Almost as worrying as that tire percentage. 3% for Leo coming through the final sector. He's got to be very careful here to not hit the wall, which he does. And for a potential playoff driver, that is not what he would have wanted to have happen. Where's his teammate? Oh, he's hit Tigranes and he's gone airborne. He's gone very airborne. And Revo with a 5-second time penalty, causing a collision. No front wing for Leo. And he's at 0%. He's got a front puncture. He's got front and rear punctures, we believe. Oh, dearie me. Oh, that's an entire car. 18%. He's got nothing left with that car. That's unfortunate for the number 30. Pinnacle Motorsport. Similar livery to the Venturi of old. No. You did not want to see that happen today. Ocampo, by the way, has just been passed by the Akari. This could be very important in terms of the championship. These two, by the way, also really need to clear Daf Sanchez. They will come into the pits at the end of this lap, Will Sanchez. But Akari will likely pit at the end of the next lap. So they go side by side coming through the hairpin. Great defending. It's a 3-way Filipino fight for the podium positions currently. And Akari having to back out of it lest he make a major mistake and crash. And he's just holding back now. He's let Ocampo however go through, which is not part of the plan for the number 10. Sanchez peels into pit lane then to get off of those hard tires on lap 5 of 14 as we now begin lap 6 of 14. 1.3 seconds. That's all it is. 1.12 seconds rather between the race leaders. It's all within their power to try and make as much of an indent on the championship as possible. They could do it. It would be incredible. But it's Ocampo from Akari still 1.2 seconds. That's the gap. There's nothing really in it. Milres to 4th. From last on the grid to 4th on lap 6. And there goes Cable as well. Revo really dropping down the order with that 5-second time penalty. It's almost as if a switch has been flipped within the car and it's now in cruise mode. Actually, Chantan hitting David Camino, getting him a 5-second time penalty as now Ocampo really beginning to feel the after effects of going onto the soft tires as early as he did. He's really weaving a lot, 29%. If he wasn't coming into the pit at the end of this lap, I would be worried for him. Unbelievably so. But the race leaders both peel into the pits, and that means Akari has to feel the pain of the soft tires, considering how a lot of teams consider doing their strategy, and someone's gone off. Someone has had a massive off further back down the order. Track's been cleared then. At half race distance, it is Bogdassarov who is currently leading the way. Dano Bogdassarov, your race leader. 50% tire wear. That will see him to the next lap. And Sanchez has come out ahead of the two drivers we thought were fighting for the win. So Sanchez is currently looking like a genuine race-winning contender. It'd be very interesting to see a 3-way fight between Philippine drivers. But where is that opportunity for those two to make that overtake? Gabbo and Iwell fighting over third place. This is funny because neither of them would be fighting over this position realistically. I'm kidding. I love these two. And who's that fighting over position further back? That is Chiclerc and Leo, we believe. Yes, it is. But Iwell and Gabbo still side by side. This is going to go down to the line at the end of this lap if they don't decide to pit. Gabbo currently still ahead of Iwell. A lot of weaving from the number 21 car. And he's still out there. Bob's actually been cleared by Dav Sanchez. So right now at Akari, he's really just got tunnel vision, it seems. He really just needs to get past Ocampo, it seems. Bob's coming to the pit lane, so Dav Sanchez leading the way from Ocampo and Akari, your top three. And it's all about if Akari he can try and make that move and close in enough on Sanchez to even make that opportunity work. He's gonna get attack mode coming down the straight. Down the inside goes Akari, and that's second place on the road currently. And no, Ocampo, he's gonna try and hold on to that second place. He's using all of his attack charge he can use, and that's actually helped him to hold on to that second position, and that's out both of them to close in on Dav Sanchez. We've got a three-way fight with a race lead here, coming down the straight, the back straight. That makes the track as notorious as we know it. Ocampo takes the lead, but Akari with the inside line. How's he gonna fight? He's gonna fight himself up into second position, but he ain't gonna bite on the DS Andretti ahead of him. And it's all about now if he can close up enough so then he can get attack mode on the next straight, on the next opportunity for the attack mode to be active. Neilrez, by the way, he's found himself fighting over third as well. Almost got hit by Sanchez there, who comes into the pits, and that's Akari! Akari's in pit lane! Oh my goodness me, he's going for the undercut. Akari is going for the undercut. Everyone stay calm, stay calm! Undercut from Akari, using the same strategy that killed his race before Sana, the same strategy that Ocampo used to kill his race. For Akari right now, he just has to hold on to that gap. 20 seconds is the gap, so he needs to close it into about 18 to stay ahead of Ocampo, who will come in for soft tires. Bob's right behind him though. Bob is right on the tail of that Pinnacle car. There's another Pinnacle car right ahead of him. You could not write this. You could not write this. This is incredible. There goes Bob for 12th and potentially even. Yes, that is 13th. He gets past his teammates as Akari. So they've both cleared Leo. The blue helmeted Pinnacle Formula E team car. Neilrez dropping off the back of Ocampo by quite a mile. Neilrez struggling on those soft tires. He needed to come into the pits on lap prior, we believe. Tigrana's also weaving quite a bit. Bogdasar right behind him. MF1 mod, a soft tire runner. What is that? What is his tires looking like? 52%. It's fine. In the race leaders. Oh, Ocampo staying out. Ocampo staying out for another lap. He's trying to maximize soft tires. He is maximizing his soft tires as Leo has hit the wall. Oh, 7% soft. 7% mediums for Leo. He's really extending his tires as much as he possibly can, and that's just not the strat. He has had to now pull into pit lane. Oh, he's hit the wall in the pits as well. Oh dear. Comes out of the pits one. So Ocampo, he's currently leading this race. He's got no competition ahead or behind him currently. His closest car to him is his own teammate, Daniel Baltasar. 4 laps left to run in the C3, however. And his title rival, Akari, is waiting. He's just waiting for something to happen to that blue Andretti car as Neilrez now gets himself up into 5th position. We're watching Ocampo struggle on those mediums. If he does decide to go on to softs now, it would be insane. He does pit. He's going to go on to soft tires that will not see him to the end of the race, but will probably have to take him to the final lap of the race. Bogdasar inherits race lead then. MF1 world's in. Mealres is in. I'm sorry, Mealres stays out. I-World's in. So, Akari, he's going to stay ahead of Ocampo, but only just. This strategy, oh, there goes Bob though. I was about to say this strategy could have just worked for Ocampo, but he's been overtaken by the Renault Edam's car. Oh shoot, my throat hurts so much because of how intense this race is. As there goes Ocampo on Bob there for 4th place. They're still side by side. This fight will likely see them to the end of the race. To the end of their races if they do collide. But if not, then only time can tell. But here's Ocampo. He's right on the back, right on the diffuser of Akari. He's going to have attack mode as well. Coming into the hairpin, they go side by side. Coming through the hairpin. Who's going to come out ahead? It's going to be Akari. Akari is still holding off Ocampo as long as he humanly can. I think Akari might try and come into the pits. Swing and a miss from Ocampo, who almost hits the barriers. Can he swing again? He's going to have the outside line, forcing him very wide through that turn. Is it Akari almost touching him? And Akari staying out. Akari staying out there, lap 12 of 14. And he's definitely got to come into the pits at the end of this lap as the number 10 car. He needs to come in as soon as possible. Mealres is leading this race with medium tyres, same age, no, just a little bit younger than Akari. But I do believe that both the Renault and the Pinnacle car will have to come into the pits, because there is no real point in staying out for that long. Mealres and Ocampo, by the way, came in on the same lap, it seems. Maybe a lap before for Mealres, I can't remember. As that was a very long pit stop for David Camino, who comes out now in last place. But for Mealres, this is potentially going to be a 2nd race win in a row. 2 race wins in a row. We rarely ever see this in this championship. And this is coming from a man who is not currently in a championship fight. If he stays out, it'll be insane. If he comes in, it'll also be insane. Akari has to pit at the end of the lap. He's on 29% tire wear. Oh, that was so wide. It's such a moment when you've got so very warm tires. So Ocampo will lead this race because Mealres has come in. Akari comes into the pits for new soft tires, which will see him to the end of the race. Cable will also come in for new soft. Same with Revo and everyone who decides to come into the pits at the end of this lap. Bob Desarov currently 2nd out there with youngest softs than Ocampo. And for Ocampo right now, if there is no virtual safety car for the rest of this race, then he will... If there is one more virtual safety car in this race, mark my words, Ocampo is going to cause it. His tires, there's nothing in his tires. They are basically gone. He's got no grip, no drip, no balls. So right now for Ocampo, he's just holding on. He's holding on for dear life. 8 seconds ahead of his own teammate. Akari currently in 10th. That championship lead that Ocampo has would extend by 24 entire points. 24 of the biggest points in his career. But it's all gonna matter. It's not gonna matter if he can't take his car to the finish line. Akari up into 8th position then, ahead of Bob. He's gonna need every overtake he can do. Every move he's got left in that Pinnacle car's playbook, he's going to need. Bob going very wide there, trying to send it down the inside on Sanchez. Lucky that they didn't collide. They didn't tangle. They don't tangle. There goes Cable ahead of Sanchez. As almost, he was ahead of Bob there. He's dropped off quite a bit. Ocampo fastest first sector of anybody. As the rest of the cars come through the final sector and into the wall for the 3rd time today is Leo. He's got another puncture. And the Pinnacle car's day, it's just not been great. It's not been good. By any stretch of the word, yellow flag should end by the time. Yes, they have ended. So currently, as Leo now, that car's going to have a full puncture for the 2nd time today as he peels into the pit lane. Ocampo, he is your race leader. Akari, he's closing into cars ahead of him. Tigranas and I-World side by side. And he might be able to get past I-World if he can. But for Sebastian Campo. He's gonna come through the final few turns. He's almost gonna go into the wall. He does hit the wall. The championship leader in the barriers. Yellow flags in the third sector. Can he get his car out before Akari comes into that part of the track? Bogdasarov is going to come over with the race win with Milres way behind him, and he's been hit. And then one wall, 10-second time penalty. Oh my God! Sebastian Ocampo is out! Oh my God! I don't believe it! And on the final lap of the E-Prix, it is Bogdasarov from Milres, from MF1 World, from Tigranes, from Akari on the track. But MF1 World and Tigranes, both with time penalties. Akari is going to be on the podium. And with his biggest championship rival out of the E-Prix, Akari will take the championship lead. Oh my goodness me! On the last lap, everything unravels for Ocampo. He's built quite the championship lead, but it's only going to matter if he can finish the race. And on a day where he needed to finish it at most, he fumbles. That's the biggest fumble in championship history. It's always at Yas Island. And here's your podium then. And as you can see, the number 10 has made his way onto the podium. Daniel Bogdasarov wins his first race in a long while for DS Andretti with Milres alongside him. But that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the man currently third in the race finisher who finished third. It's Akari, who with 15 points, he will take the lead in the World Drivers' Championship. iWorld is fourth, and T. Gabo and UK Ball. Then it's Daf Sanchez, Bob, Jaco Tigranes, and Slavish Cliff the top 10. Outside of that, you have Revo, MF1 World, Theodore Schumacher, Vashi Chantan, and Pastor Maranada, David Camino, and Leo. Your non-finishers were the former championship leader, Sebastian Ocampo, Ina Famnes, Marcus Nelson, Yuki Tsuo, and Salas Kynes. In the drivers' standings, Akari leads the way, heading into the final 3 rounds of the championship. He's only, however, 3 points ahead of Sebastian Ocampo, who is another 51 points ahead of Revo, who can still mathematically win the title. Same could be said for Daf Sanchez, who is on exactly 100 points. So the top 4 can still technically win this championship. Then it's UK Ball, Daniel Bogdasarov 1 point back. Milres is 7th from Ina Famnes, who is 8th. Then it is David Camino and Jaco Tigranes, currently the drivers who will see themselves enter the playoffs. Then it's Yuki Tsuo, Theodore Schumacher, Leo, Pastor Maldonado, iWorld, and T. Gabo. Then it's Marcus Nelson, Vashi Chantan, MF1 World, Bob, Lawless Leclerc, and Salas Kynes. In the constructor standings heading into Abuja, DS Andretti is still leading the way from Pinnacle Formula E team, then it's Hyperdrive Racing and Toyota Gazoo Racing, tied on points with Born Honda Grand Prix. Then it's Renault Edan, Lamborghini Mako, Skoda Volkswagen, Jaguar, Nissan Nismo, and Mercedes EQ, tied on points. See you guys next time then in Abuja for the last race under the lights in the regular season.